We're ready for the 6th FA Cup meeting with North London rivals Arsenal and Tottenham Hotspur. Arsenal have won 3 of the past 5, Spurs have won 2. The last 3 meetings have all been in the semi-finals. The last third-round meeting was won by Spurs in 1982. They went on to win the cup. Arsenal start the game. Arsenal will be favourites to win, but there's not a lot in it. And it's a derby. Favouritism often goes out of the window.
What Spurs can do with 2 up front is stop Arsenal playing out from the back. Already you see they force them to go back to Fabianski. Although Soldado wanted to go and close down there, but Fabianski, not a good start from him.
Because Fabianski has played second fiddle to Wojciech Szczesny all season. Soldado helping it on to Kyle Walker. Koscielny made sure it didn't reach Adebayor. And Spurs have forced their first corner of the game inside 40 seconds.
Yeah, really sleepy from Arsenal there. Well played. Walker throwing in quickly, getting to the next ball played forward by Soldado. Tottenham will be a threat at set plays. Adebayor, Dawson.
Kirikesh is up there too. And the captain of Romania. It's Adebayor's jump. It's come to Soldado. It's Dembele. It's off the head of Sanya. Comes to Soldado again. And Fabianski will manage to gather that one, despite Michael Dawson's best efforts to put him off. Not the brightest start from the home team then. We haven't been beaten at the Emirates since the end of October, when last in domestic cup action, a 2-0 Chelsea win in the League Cup. It's come off Rosicky. And fell kindly for Soldado. Danny Rose just caught napping a little bit by Serge Gnabry. Arteta. Sanya. There is the young German, 18-year-old Gnabry. Danny Rose will know that he's been in a race or 2 by the end of this.
Just sense the player that can run the game is Arteta. It's that holding midfield player for Arsenal. He's not going to be pressurised.
It's Wilshere winning the ball for the Gunners here. Promptly having it taken away from him. Excellent tackle that from Bentaleb. Here's Adebayor. He's going to get that sort of treatment from the Arsenal fans every time he's anywhere near the ball.
Well, one player he won't beat for pace is Koscielny. He's very quick, the Arsenal centre-half. Just tries to run beyond him, Adebayor. A good tackle in midfield against Wilshere, winning the ball back by Bentaleb.
Danny Rose with the Spurs throw. Eventually, Mark Clattenburg's giving him the hurry-up already. Rose away from Gnabry. The ball away from Soldado. Won again by Bentaleb, but it will be an Arsenal free kick this time. Clattenburg has to step on the gas himself with the ball played very quickly towards Gnabry, who's been dealt with by Kirikesh, or rather Theo Walcott's putting the pressure on. So much pace in the Arsenal attack.
First test for Kirikesh, ball played in behind, Walcott's pace. Might get him there, but Kirikesh matched it.
Walcott working hard. Eriksson semi-dispossessed, and then Sanya does the job fully on Kirikesh. That's Gnabry. This is Walcott. Nobody over there except Kyle Walker. He's being held back, but has managed to shrug off Santi Cazorla. An open field to it right from the start. Lennon. Mentioned Arsenal's pace in attack. There's plenty about Spurs as well. Bentaleb. Eriksson, the eventual match winner at Manchester United on New Year's Day. Adebayor, only got the first goal. The man who's come back into the Spurs lineup with a point to prove to Andre Villas-Boas, who wouldn't pick him. And a point to prove here today to the Arsenal fans who used to adore him.
Well, for one season they adored him when he scored 25 goals. He was absolutely outstanding. He was close to Didier Drogba as being the outstanding front player in the Premier League.
Lennon versus Monreal. Won't get there.
I feel as though that's an area where Tottenham can get a bit of joy down that right-hand side. I'm sure Tim Sherwood will have worked at that. Cazorla playing on the left-hand side of midfield, doesn't like to defend. He'll tuck in. Means that Walker can get forward. Lennon against Monreal. Certainly the area that Tim Sherwood would have been looking at.
The 14th Spurs manager, caretaker, interim or otherwise, during Arsene Wenger's time at Arsenal. Dembele brought down by Rosicky. I read something the other day, Stuart, that told me that since Cardiff changed their manager, it means that Arsene Wenger's now been in charge of his club under just under 100 days fewer than the other 19 Premier League bosses put together. Some record. But he will sense, and all those inside the ground know, that 8 seasons without a trophy is too long.
Absolutely. Club of Arsenal's size and history need to be winning trophies.
Rosicky won't find Walcott with that one. Easy for Lloris, who always has a starting position a little more advanced than most goalkeepers around.
A better pass, and he'd have been in Theo Walcott. He bent his run really well. He'd stayed onside. They're the balls that Adebayor has to win. If he's playing up front, the balls are being played from the back into him. He's got to be stronger. He's got to get hold of it. Otherwise, Tottenham will be in trouble.
So where Lloris came from again there. How would you have felt in your playing days, Stuart, with a keeper who almost is a sweeper in his own right?
Decision making. If he makes the right decision, you want a goalkeeper to be the sweeper, both on the ball and intercepting balls over the top. If he makes the wrong decisions, like we've seen Joe Hart make, and on occasions Lloris, as he did against Ashley Young in the Premier League, where he brought down Ashley Young, it was a poor decision from him. You have to make the right decisions. You've got to be rational when to come and when to stay.
Arsenal coming at Spurs here. Rosicky. Wilshere and Gnabry exchange passes. Here's Santi Cazorla, with Monreal breaking forward. Arteta. Gnabry. Adebayor on his way, but he managed to get the pass to Rosicky. Couldn't get one to Sagna though. Little tug back, and it will be a Spurs free kick. Danny Rose, who scored on his Premier League debut in a Spurs 2-1 win over Arsene Wenger's team, and it was a cracking goal too.
Actually, any hopes Arsenal had of winning the title that year went with that goal from Danny Rose.
Rickash to Dawson, a pair who are building a fine partnership at the back for Spurs. Rose. Adebayor. 142 games, 62 goals as a gunner in 3.5 seasons. Eriksson, he's got through Koscielny, he's through past everybody, and he scored. No, he's missed it. Oh, goodness me, how on earth did Eriksson miss? Couldn't get it past Fabianski.
Does Fabianski make a save here? It's poor play from Koscielny. He gets in behind Sagna. Sagna did everything to try and get back at him, but I think Fabianski gets something on it here.
I think you've got to say, good goalkeeping. He got out, he spread himself, just made himself an object to hit, and Eriksson hit him. I don't think Christian Eriksen will get many better chances than that all day. Now he takes the corner. And it was Wilshere who got in the way of the attempted flick on from Bentaleb. Now it's a Spurs throw-in.
Good start from Tottenham here. A good moment. Walker in the very first minute breaking down that right-hand side. Eriksson breaking in behind.
Eriksen's cross will be easy for Fabianski that time. So Lucas Fabianski's made an impact. Christian Eriksen really should have made an impact.
What I think he needed to do was take his touch across Sagna. He ran straight at the goalkeeper. There's Walcott. That's what I was talking about before the game. He's not very good with his back to goal. When he receives the ball into feet, he often loses it. That's when Spurs will try and break. Wilshire's having a row with Mark Clattenburg here.
You want to be careful doing that, you might get spoken back to. Kirikesh. Eriksson. All the way through to Fabianski. The other pole in the Arsenal goal. Once upon a time, first choice. Overtaken for club and country by Wojciech Szczesny. He's been overtaken again at international level himself. That's Walker. That was for Marlon's header. Big test this for Thomas Vermaelen. Only started 3 Premier League games this season. He needs games to make sure he's an essential part of Belgium's World Cup party. A lot of the players on show today will be mindful of that every time they take the field in 2014. Bayor and Eriksson don't have those worries.
Good run from Eriksson. He's playing out on the left-hand side, but he will make those little diagonal runs. That time, Sanya went with him. That time, Sanya will stay in the right-back position, and Eriksson will try and run in behind Koscielny.
Walker in towards Soldado. It's Arteta who gets it away for Arsenal. It's a lovely ball from Rosicky to Gnabry. Walcott ahead of him. Lovely control from Walcott. It was a difficult one to take, and he's gone early with the shot, and it was going in. Lloris was ready for it.
Well, they're very wary of Walcott's pace, so they're backing off quickly, Spurs. It's a good strike from the Arsenal man. As you said, he took it early. Lloris was still backing off to just adjust his position. It's a good save for him in the end.
And Walcott scored 3 goals in the last 4 North London derbies. Santi Cazorla's corner is headed away by Dembele. Rosicky. Sanya followed by Kyle Walker, all the way over from the other side. Sanya. Sold the dummy to Bentaleb, who was buying. Santi Cazorla. Monreal round the outside. Kirikesh header away.
That's where Arsenal may just miss Giroud. When that ball's played into the box, there wasn't an Arsenal player attacking it. Rosicky made a late run. Walcott was standing still. Giroud has been excellent this season at timing his runs, getting across defenders.
Giroud out, Bentner out. Podolski still feeling his way back to fitness after a long layoff. This was the time when we were told at the start of the season that Arsenal would discover problems. We shall see. Walcott's not a bad player to have on hand to be able to fulfil the main striking role. It's where he wants to be.
That's what he said last year. I'm a centre-forward playing out on the right wing. I'm not sure I quite agree with him, because a centre-forward needs to be able to play and have awareness with his back to goal. I haven't seen a lot of Theo Walcott over the last few years. He doesn't possess that.
The Arsenal bench today sees Park Chu-young amongst the substitutes. South Korean, who's really back from the cold. Here's Walcott. Another chance for him. And he's curled it wide. A deflection on it.
Once again, Spurs are not allowing him space to run in behind, so he's able to get it to his feet on the half-turn already. Trying to bend it round. Kirikesh just gets the deflection. And that's good understanding from Walcott, just to drop that little bit deeper.
It's an important toe from the Romanian. I think it might just have been curling in if he hadn't managed to get to that. He's deflected it that little bit further away. Dawson beats Vermaelen. Rosicky. Gnabry. Gnabry can shoot! And he'll think he should have hit the target. He's almost leathered it too hard.
Well, everybody thought he was going to try and go down the outside, but he just took his touch in field. He's a real talent. Gnabry, seen him a lot for the German youth sides. Absolutely outstanding. So he makes the space for himself, hits it with great power.
I was at Swansea at the end of September to see Serge Gnabry's only senior Arsenal goal so far. Took that well. It's said that as a young sprinter in Germany, he never lost a race. And I don't suppose Theo Walcott's lost too many either. That's what Spurs are up against. And Even though they've had their lion's share of play in the attacking third of the field, it's Arsenal look the most dangerous when they get forward.
That's 3 shots on goal now. Couple off target, but Walcott also got his shot away, and he's making the save.
Look at that. Going back to the early 80s with the Tottenham songs. Spurs are on their way to Wembley. Aussie Ardiles and all. In 1982, when they beat Queen's Park Rangers in the final, they had disposed of Arsenal in the 3rd round. A single Garth Crooks goal at White Hart Lane. That'll be a free kick. Bentaleb leaning into Thomas Rosicky.
Bentaleb, 1 or 2 challenges now. So you have to be careful. He's up against some very clever midfield players for Arsenal. Entice him into the challenge before nipping the ball away from him.
Santi Cazorla has got his sights set here. Lloris has been a busy keeper already. Mind you, ditto Fabianski at the other end. Santi Cazorla, it's not his best. Appeals for handball. The referee decisively and demonstratively waves them away. Gnabry. Teta. Collected by Koscielny, but then he was careless. Gave it straight to Aaron Lennon. He's not taken enough care either in possession.
Oh, what a moment that was. Aaron Lennon against Arteta. Now, Arteta's got lots of passing qualities. He's a good footballer. He's not a good 1v1 defender and often has to foul to stop players getting beyond him. Lennon makes the mistake of just overrunning the ball straight into Arteta.
Jack Wilshere. Lauren Koscielny. Santi Cazorla finds Wilshere. Wilshere's given it away. Cut out by Lennon. Soldado instantly finds Dembele and sets off into the centre. And Dembele has been caught late by Thomas Vermaelen, touched the ball away, and then the tackle came. It'll be a free kick for Spurs, and it's going to be a yellow card for the Arsenal captain.
Well, Wilshere got caught on the ball. He's trying to say that he'd been fouled. And Vermaelen thinks that Dembele's overrun the ball, thinks he can win the ball with his left foot. Doesn't get anything of it. Big moment here for Tottenham.
Was poised, but Eriksson has taken charge of this. He's already been denied once by Fabianski. He really should have given the visitors the lead. How about from the dead ball? It would seem to favour the cross. Eriksson's got other ideas.
He's trying to go for the far post. Get it to come back over the top of Fabianski. Getting a whip on it, but doesn't get it down in time. Wasted free kick, really, from Eriksson.
See what confidence does. He was hit by a few injuries in the first half of this season. Took him a bit of time to settle into the English game. As a player everybody knows all about, and pretty much every club in world football has been courting for 4 or 5 years. 2 goals over Christmas, 1 against West Bromwich Albion, 1 at Manchester United. Goes to Dawson. He's playing in his 17th North London derby. Soldado, just his 2nd. Walker. Kirikesh has to go back to Hugo Lloris.
Yeah, Rosicky is the furthest forward midfield player. Has to choose the right time to go and press Kirikesh or drop back into midfield.
Sanya. To get the ball away before Dembele could make a nuisance of himself. Dawson doesn't just win it, he manages to find Soldado with it. And another free kick, it was Vermaelen again, and this time Mark Clattenburg ruled it to be a fair challenge. Vermaelen, well, his heart missed a beat.
On first viewing, I don't think Vermaelen gets anywhere near that.
Wilshere and Rosicky combine. Wilshere dumped to the floor late by Kirikesh. Rosicky, glorious Arsenal football this! Until the shot, which is wide from the boot of Santi Cazorla.
That's what he likes to do, come in from that left-hand side, play the little 1-2s, this time with Rosicky. He's trying to bend it, not that far away. Arsenal getting closer. Such a wonderful talent, Cazorla, when he's got the ball, but he can be outrun down the other side. But I think Vermaelen's lucky here. He's beaten for pace by Soldado. Does he get any of the ball? He does. The referee is absolutely right, and I was wrong.
And you see with the point and the turn and the instant look for approval. I was just worried for a second it might have been misread, and Tim Sherwood saw it the same as you did on first viewing, Stuart. He was wrong too.
Absolutely. Brilliant referee, Mark Clattenburg, and remember, they only get one view of it.
That's what we seem to forget so often, don't we? And the game is played at such a pace now. Go back to the technology argument. Well, the goal line technology is being rolled in around the world, but the game in open play, you can only manage one way. It's with the same pair of eyes and the whistle that the referees always had. Tim Sherwood will be looking at games with very different eyes now that he's a head coach.
Well, he's been brave by playing with two up front. He knows that he might be outnumbered in that midfield area. And if Arsenal start passing the ball and they get their positional rotation going, it could cause them real trouble.
Only one defeat in 5 games as manager so far for the former technical coordinator. That was his title previously. That was his first game against West Ham in the quarter-finals of the League Cup. Incidentally, the last Spurs boss to win a North London derby at the first attempt. You have to go back to 1994, Jerry Francis. Dawson's header. The ball would have been away offside. Clattenburg has called play to a halt because a player's down with a head injury. It's the previous offside on Walcott, and he's pulled it all the way back for. Reece has to be quick. Again, that advanced starting position helps him.
Took a gamble by just flicking the ball past Walcott.
Lennon. It's Dawson. Flag is up this time against Adebayor.
Tim Sherwood will be worried by that. Adebayor, when he's not playing particularly well, will always come back and try and receive the ball in midfield. He needs to make those runs in behind. He needs to threaten the back of Vermaelen, Koscielny. So often they try and play a high line.
Wilshere. Walcott cuts it out. Important that he did, with Santi Cazorla waiting. Well, with the head start on Walker, but it doesn't last long. Rosicky, that's a corking ball. Oh, Gnabry has just started a fraction of a second too soon with his run.
Oh, what a good ball it was as well. Walker was fuming at Lennon that he hadn't backed him up and allowed Rosicky to turn on the ball and hit that big diagonal. Just a bit lazy coming back.
Rose. Out from the boot of Koscielny. Adebayor scored 8 goals in 9 games for Arsenal against Spurs. He scored 2 in 4 for Spurs against Arsenal. Heck of a derby goal-scoring record. In between times, of course, he scored that goal for Manchester City against Arsenal that prompted so much anger from Arsenal fans when he raced full length of the Etihad Stadium pitch to celebrate in front of them. I have to say that he's played his full part in the reception that he's been getting today.
I've seen him play against Arsenal on several occasions since he left. Rarely has he been effective. Talk about the goals, but he's given the ball away cheaply. And Arsenal beat Tottenham 5-2 when Tottenham were 2-0 up. He was a cause of a lot of the problems for Spurs. He stopped working hard. Allowed Arsenal's centre-half to come out with the ball. didn't hold it up when Spurs played it forward.
Two of the last three meetings here have finished 5-2 to Arsenal, and in the other one of those, Adebayor scored early on and was sent off shortly afterwards. Here's Walcott in again, squeezed wide by Lloris.
Could Walcott have passed it square there? It's a great combination play again.
Two sides who've really grasped the metal here. They're going all out.
Arsenal are the best side in the league at playing at 1-2s in and around the box. Third man running. That's how Walcott got in.
Arsenal's corner.
Here it is again. Plays it square. He's just onside. Rose tries to play him offside, but leaves it too late.
Santi Cazorla's corner. Shot from Lloris was away. Only so far. Cazorla with another ball fired in, but that's easy for the Frenchman in the Spurs goal. And then runs Walker. Adebayor. As you can tell. Eriksson. Soldado. Tata playing just in front of the back four, was there to pick it up for Arsenal. And again, pick it up and give it, but that's not his usual quality of pass.
Well, the player that's struggling at the moment, it's not this man Adebayor, it's Jack Wilshere for Arsenal. A poor start to the match. He caught on the ball, he's given it away.
Walker. Wilshere again under pressure, managed to keep it that time. Real to Arteta. Wilshere. Better under pressure from Bentaleb. Sanya. Walcott again was just trying to play on the shoulder of Kirikash and time his run. Never got the chance to stay onside though, with Eriksson getting Spurs away. Marlon in the way of that. Dembele. Soldado. Rose. Eriksson. Well, let's not forget, he's nominally playing on the left wing for Spurs, but look where he is now. Dembele. Eriksson. Walker started a run on the right, ignored so far. Dembele. Adebayor, lovely touch that was. Just half an ass from Dembele, saying that Adebayor was checked unfairly by Koscielny.
Yeah, absolutely right, what a good touch it was. Koscielny defended it really well. Looks like he'd taken his touch into the path, into his left foot to get a strike away.
Good spell of possession this for Tottenham Hotspur. And Taleb. Now Rose. Adebayor keeping Koscielny at arm's length. Adebayor. And Taleb. Can't go any further. Adebayor then stretching for the ball, found Rosicky in the way of it, and he did just catch the check.
Good possession though from Tottenham up until this point. Strange challenge from Adebayor, no chance of winning the ball up against Rosicky there.
All the goals he scored for Arsenal and for Spurs so far, and Manchester City has yet to win any honours in an English game. The year that Manchester City won the FA Cup in 2011, he was away in Spain with Real Madrid, although he did win the Spanish Cup himself.
Once again, Wilshere, I think, gets lucky there. Dembele looked as though he'd nicked the ball off him. They really are pressuring Wilshere and making sure he doesn't get easy possession. And again,
Sanya. Time from Wilshere wasn't good enough to find Gnabry, but Not the best clearance from Kirikesh either. Arsenal throw-in. He's been outstanding in recent weeks. No more so than at Old Trafford on Wednesday.
A couple of his early games at White Hart Lane, he's probably one of the best centre-halves in the Premier League at running out with the ball and combining with midfield players or front players.
And Soldado. Adebayor wants it. Soldado having to work to keep it. Here is Kirikesh. Systems and formations, all you like. Styles that Spurs have picked up since Tim Sherwood just went back to plain old-fashioned 4-4-2 and got the players playing a game with a smile on their face, having a go.
A bit more enthusiastic, more determined. Problem for them here.
There's Gnabry away from Kirikesh, and he's managed to find Santi Cazorla. What a finish! He's spanked Arsenal into the lead. A goal scored by one of the senior players, made by one of the new breed.
Well, you'll see Tim Sherwood in the technical area. He was asking his players to come and squeeze the ball. They dropped off. They allowed Gnabry to pick it up with ease. And once he did, there's Tim Sherwood just there asking the players to squeeze up. Cazorla is out on that left-hand side. The way to pass to him is perfect, but he just hit straight through the back of the ball with his laces. What a good strike. Tottenham were caught out too easily there.
That's a lovely view of it.
Well, Reece goes to ground fairly early, but I think he has to take a gamble where the ball's going to go because it was hit with such pace.
Well, it's only the Spaniard's second goal of the season. The first goal of the FA Cup third-round derby. Santi Cazorla scores it. Arsenal 1, Tottenham Hotspur 0. Thought at one stage in the build-up with that touch from Serge Gnabry-Stewart that he'd overrun it, but he's got the pace to get there, and it was a lovely poke through to Santi Cazorla.
And actually, his touch almost enticed one of the two of the Tottenham players to try and win the ball, and it opened it up for Cazorla out on that left-hand side. He said that they've been backing off the Spurs centre-halves, which they have to do against the likes of Theo Walcott. Sherwood wasn't happy at all as that ball was played through to Gnabry.
Vermaelen was brave there. Wasn't the best clearance, went straight to Eriksson, but quickly put his head in where it hurts to just try and limit the damage, and damaged himself in the process. Play has to be stopped. Chance for Arsene Wenger to just have a word with Bakary Sagna on this near side. An assist to Gnabry's name.
He's an excellent player. I've seen him a lot at the German youth level. As he gets time on the ball, Kirikesh starts to come, Dawson backs off, and then Walker starts to come across to Gnabry, and that leaves space open for Cazorla to come round the back. And he's got a brilliant shot, either he's left or right, on that occasion he's left foot.
Sagna with Eriksson comfortably. Spurs throw it. Danny Rose just pulled up slightly there, just caught by Walcott, but inadvertently. The Spurs away record is fantastic this season. 1-12 of 15 they've played away from White Hart Lane over all competitions. Work to do to win this one. Bentaleb. Adebayor. Carl Walker with his head down, running over on the right-hand side. Found by Lennon. Adebayor wanted it pulled back outside the box. It was betwixt and between.
And look where Cazorla is now. He's just jogging across to that left-hand side. Walker can be the danger man for Spurs. There's nobody really for Arsenal wants to go out on that left-hand side and start to defend. It's been the case throughout the season. Whoever's played out there, Wilshere, Cazorla, Ozil, they're not defensive players. They want to come in field and play when they've got the ball. They don't want to race back out there and defend when they haven't.
Bentaleb. Jack Wilshere told to get on with it by the referee. He's just having a moan.
And they put their heads towards each other, Dembele and Wilshere.
Good pressing this from Lennon and Soldado. It's Monreal who clears. Dawson. Rosicky in on Bentaleb. Out to Sagna. Wilshere. Great to hear the attitude of both bosses in the build-up to this game. I suppose it helps that it is a derby. It doesn't need stoking up, but Tim Sherwood said it would be the pinnacle of what he's done so far in his short time in management if they won. Arsene Wenger said, I'll pick a team as if it's a top Premier League game because he remembers what happened last year, losing in the 5th round at home to Blackburn.
Here's where they have the little spat. Wilshere has a little kick and a little elbow as well. And Dembele then reacts to it. He can be petulant, Jack Wilshere. Wonderful player that he is. There we go.
Well handled, I think, by the referee.
Brilliantly handled. Just told both players to get on with it.
There is Santi Cazorla. Running Nacho Monreal. Wilshere. Sagna. Teto, Wilshere. Wilshere. Little touch of acceleration. Away from Dawson. Couldn't clear Lloris. Looking for the chip on Walcott's head.
Best we've seen from Jack Wilshere. Change of pace, went past Dawson. It was the right cross, just didn't get enough height to take it over Lloris. But that's what Jack Wilshere can do. Really run with the ball at pace at times.
Here's Gnabry. With the other flying machine, Theo Walcott. No harm done to Spurs this time. Bayors lost it. It looked messy. Here's Rosicky. And I don't mean Lionel Messi, I just mean far too careless and close from Spurs.
That's why Adebayor has to play as a front player, not come back into midfield.
He's a player having a bit of a second coming as an Arsenal player, Thomas Rosicky.
Almost missed 2 years with an injury that was only meant to take 2 or 3 weeks to recover from.
Excellent season when he's had the chance to play, and he's getting more chances in this campaign. Wilshere. Rosicky. Wilshere blocked by Bentaleb. Arsenal free kick. Wilshere saying to the referee every time. Showed up and down.
Got to stay in the game here, Spurs. Before half-time, they can't go in 2-0 down.
I asked Tim Sherwood on Wednesday night after the game at Manchester United how he's enjoying it, and that Premier League management was supposed to age you, and he said it will. Don't worry about that. He felt 10 years older already. That's after, well, this is his 5th game in charge. Sixth game. Started well, but his team are behind today. They have to defend a corner now.
And they're lucky to get a corner out of that one. Walcott with a pretty weak free kick. Halfway up the Spurs wall.
Goal scorer Cazorla to take it. Mark Clattenburg has just spotted Kirikesh and Sagna indulging in a spot of dancing. On the move again, the pair of them. In from Cazorla. Walcott over the bar.
Chance. Good chance for Theo Walcott on the edge of the box. A good header from Danny Rose. Heads it back into a dangerous area and in the near post zone. His technique has improved over the last 2 or 3 years. Theo Walcott. There's a little headbutt, back head from Dembele, but Wilshere had been pushing and shoving and a little kick, and referee handles it really well.
Just watch that one simmering though. Dembele. I think the criticism of Theo Walcott, wasn't it, that he didn't have the brain. He had all the attributes, but not the football brain. I think he has now.
Well, certainly he's improved. His movement's better. Still think at times he lacks that bit of composure.
I think when you're that quick, you're bound to, aren't you?
The decision-making has to be right. His decision-making has got better in the attacking area. Sometimes when he comes off into midfield and his passing isn't particularly good, he can give the ball away cheaply.
Arteta, who rarely does. Vermaelen. A little bit different for Koscielny today, back in tandem with Vermaelen. It means he plays on the right of the two centre-backs.
Amazing, Vermaelen, when he first came, that first season, it was who played with Vermaelen. Now it's the other way round. He's the one that has to fit in when somebody else is injured.
Rosicki. Arteta. Arsenal looking a more likely team to score the next goal right now. Wilshere being pushed and pulled this way and that by Rose. Wilshere has had his fuse lit all right. Just thought at first we were going to get a bit more of a spark there, but he took himself away from it, and he's been caught there. If he just keeps doing that, then he'll get the better of Spurs in the right way.
This is when he's at his best. He's in between two players. Soldado just brings him down cynically.
It is a cynical one, that. He's very lucky not to get a yellow card, unless that's going to happen now. No. Michael Dawson called across, the captain.
So what Wilshere has done, Wilshere has played the game very well here. He's stayed down when he's been tackled fairly. He's also stayed down when he hasn't been tackled fairly. And he's just got into Mark Claddenberg's ear to say, you can't. And Dawson's now been told that the next foul on Wilshere will probably end up in a booking for one of the players.
Not going to get Soldado a shake of the head. Adebayor on Vermaelen. There are little duels developing all over the field, as there should be in a keenly fought FA Cup tie between local rivals. Santi Cazorla. Lloris stays back. Sagna came sliding in. Walcott slide. Is enough to make sure the ball doesn't go behind for a goal kick. It's a Spurs throw. It keeps them penned back.
Well, Arsenal are much better at set plays these days. At one point they didn't work at them, but they're two players racing round the back. Sagna, can he get something on it? No, he can't. Kimish just about does enough.
Kyle Walker's throw. Eriksen on to Adebayor. Soldado. Realised immediately he didn't have the pace, but he's got the trickery. Great work from Soldado. Lennon in. Sagna away. Missed by Dembele. Rosicki. Missed by Kirikesh. Dawson takes charge. Decisively so. Eriksen. Dembele to Adebayor. Lennon. Here goes Walker on the overlap. Soldado. Clean strike, but all was wide.
Once again, they create the overload out on that right-hand side. Walker making the forward run. Monreal goes tight. There's nobody backing him up. Marlon's the first player out. Always going wide from Soldado.
Great work from him in the approach.
We've seen a lot more of that since Tim Sherwood's taken over. When he was the lone striker, he played just through the middle. Couldn't see him develop the play. He was very much looking for the ball to be played into him in and around the box. Now he develops the play as well. Looks a much better player in the last 5 or 6 weeks.
Has got into double figures, just about a goal every other game since joining Spurs from Valencia. Walcott, Santi Cazorla. Dawson makes sure he gets in between player and goal. Cash to Walker. More goals in this tie, surely.
I talked about Walker going forward and being a real threat, but he's also got to do some defending as well. 2 or 3 times now Cazorla's running to the box. Free.
And Adebayor. That's a push. And quite a clear one in the back of Bakary Sagna. That should do it for the break. Arsenal will have the lead at half-time.
I think they just about deserve it. Silly challenge from Adebayor. He's never going to win this ball. Fairly, anyway. The chances that Arsenal have had, they just about deserve to be up at half-time.
I suppose from his point of view, he might as well. The stick's not going to get any worse.
I think he quite enjoys it. He's had it everywhere he's been at some point.
Should he manage to be the player who draws Tottenham level, we'll see an almighty celebration. As it is, only Arsenal cheers at the break because they've got the only goal of the first half, scored just after the half-hour mark by the Spaniard Santi Cazorla. A cracking finish, having been set up by Serge Gnabry. We're set up for a superb second half at the Emirates. A little bit of everything developing in this. At the break, it is Arsenal 1, Tottenham Hotspur 0. This has gone on. Roberto Soldado and Christian Eriksen will start the second half. So Spurs get the action going again. The team in great form away from White Hart Lane. They've won their last 4 in the Premier League on the road. That was since they shipped 6 at Manchester City at the back end of November. So they've tightened it up. And they've got to keep scoring at the other end to get back into this FA Cup tie. And Emmanuel Adebayor will be their most likely candidate when it comes to getting goals, and he's played his part here in winning Spurs a corner. It's a similar way into which they started the first.
But he missed an opportunity here. He was favourite to get in front of Monreal. Just allowed the fullback to get back ahead of him.
Eriksen will take the Spurs corner. Adebayor will try and attack it. Dawson and Soldado likewise. It's headed behind for another one by Monreal. He headed that a little too close to his own goal for comfort.
He's in that near post zone. Actually hits him on the shoulder in the end. I say, he didn't look too brave as he was going to head that one.
What's happened with that? The ball perhaps not in the quadrant properly. Never is. Peter Kirkup is being a stickler. I don't think he's quite in now. Just touching the line. Over from Eriksen. Good ball it was. Soldado went for the spectacular. And he's capable.
Well, the way Arsenal mark zonally, got all their players within the width of the goal post. Soldado was at the far post, able to get the strike in.
Rare to see those in management positions laughing and joking, but there is a very relaxed style that's been brought to the job by Tim Sherwood and Les Ferdinand.
Brought in by Harry Redknapp, weren't they, to improve the coaching?
Just shows you how things happen in football. Initially brought in both of them on a part-time basis. Used to see them at White Hart Lane sitting in the stands and used to wonder, what exactly do those two do? Well, all the time, coaching education that has led to this. Santi Cazorla finds Serge Gnabry. Here's Thomas Better to Wilshere. Now Monreal. On the side due to injury suffered by Kieran Gibbs. A calf problem. Monreal on the move. Walker and Michael Dawson between them see him off. Refreshing comments from the Spaniard this week. When asked about his lack of game time, he said simply, "I'm becoming a better player by hanging around with these better players." No moaning, gets on with it when given the chance.
Well, certainly mean better cover for Kieran Gibbs than the Brazilian left-back they had for a while.
Andre Santos. Here's Arteta. Added by all for Spurs. Quarters the meat in the sandwich. One of 8 players to have played for both in this derby fixture. One of only 2 to have scored for both, with Jimmy Robertson from way back when. Nabil Bentaleb finding Kyle Walker. Now Aaron Lennon. We haven't seen on the ball much at all. Most of Spurs' good work down the right has come from the fullback, Walker.
Well, he's the danger man for me, Walker. He has to make sure he does a defensive job as well. 2 or 3 occasions he's been caught out. But because Cazorla goes infield, it does leave space for Walker to keep making those forward runs.
Thinking of this new breed of fullback, almost Brazilian style, where they play as winger and fullback all in one. In your day playing, was there anybody close to fulfilling that role, Stu?
Well, I'd like to say I played with Kenny Sanson, who did a similar job as a left-back come left midfield play, combined well with Graham Ricks in those 1980 games for Arsenal.
About the time the fullback role was just starting to change. Santi Cazorla gives it away. Stopped by Kirikesh.
Of course, the best way to do it is still to play with wing-backs and play with 3 centre-halves.
The whole City have been doing it in the Premier League this season.
Well, I believe Manchester City should have gone last year.
They tried, it didn't quite work.
Certainly throughout the pre-season when they were absolutely excellent with it. And then the first game of the season against Southampton they changed. And then only went back to it when they were struggling.
Spurs back with an old-fashioned 4-4-2. Has worked for them in the games under Tim Sherwood so far, but it needs to start working again today. Walcott's offside here.
And I think that's a dangerous game Spurs are playing. Obviously Tim Sherwood, he was upset with the goal. He said that they've got to squeeze up more. There's no pressure on the ball, and if there's no pressure on the ball, you can't hold your defensive line. You have to go with runners. Walcott just a bit too early with his run. If they play that way, Arsenal will get in.
Cazorla just a little too quick for Aaron Lennon of all people. Walker then took a real risk sliding in, didn't take any of Monreal or the ball. Recovered well enough. Rosicky just threatened to open up for him for a second. Santi Cazorla. Wilshere. Rosicky. He's seen Sagna arrive here. Stopped by Eriksson. Arsenal corner.
And Walcott had made a good run into the box there. Sagna had timed his run well. Walcott has seen the ball going over his head and then spins round. Dawson and Kirikesh wouldn't have got there. So it's a good block from Eriksson.
Here comes Per Mertesacker. His first involvement since taking the field at half-time. Too high for him. Sagna attacks it. Came down to him as well. And a free kick's been spotted. Arm raised in the air. Just unfairly blocking, and that will be a Spurs ball to clear at their leisure. Problem for Kirikesh. This is what it was for, the arm of Sagna leaning on the shoulder of the Romanian.
He jumps early, Sagna, gets his arm across Kirikesh. Going back to the days of the 80s, that wouldn't have even been a foul.
Bruised cheek for the man who suffered a broken nose against Newcastle in November. followed, with Romania beaten by Greece in the World Cup playoffs.
Good closing down from Walcott on that occasion. Forced Dawson wide. There's no way he could turn back.
Santi to Per Mertesacker. Gnabry. Rosicki. Gnabry forgot to take the ball with him. Dembele just enough on it. Here's Eriksson. Lennon. Now Soldado. There's a shot on for him. But he's done what he did with his first half effort. Didn't have as much time to set himself for that one.
He just had to run round the ball to start with. Lennon gets the ball past Monreal. Koscielny again does well, just to see the danger, get out quickly. Just rush Soldado with the shot. He doesn't make the right contact with it.
Tim Sherwood, I've noticed in the games that he's been on the touchline so far, exudes positivity. Doesn't often come ranting and raving and bawling instructions at the players. It's more to tell them to keep doing what they're good at. Which, as with many a Spurs team, is largely attacking. Walcott's pulled up. That's a real problem for Arsenal.
Well, there was no challenge around him. I think he twists his ankle here, just overstretching.
Oh, Walker's not going to put the ball out. Walcott's still down. It will now go that way via Monreal. Spurs throw. Walcott trying to get back to his feet. Well, Kirikash, who just is the first to inquire as to his welfare. He was just caught, just
about. Right on the ankle. There it is. It's going to be okay, though.
Almost relieved to see the touch from a Spurs player. He pulled up like that with nobody near him. It would have suggested something far more seriously wrong. And he rose, bounced away from Adebayor. Sort of position Rose scored from for his first ever Premier League goal on his debut against Arsenal. Dembele. Nice ball for Eriksson. Monreal is there to meet him. Arsenal can't get out though. Walker. Lennon. Looking for Adebayor, who's managed to get it down, but then lost his footing.
The first touch was excellent from Adebayor. When it first came in, I thought he was going to volley it with his right foot. Just let it come across him.
Signs of promise for Spurs.
That was a cross from this right-hand side.
Mertesacker scored home and away against Spurs last season. The sides met earlier this season. There was just the one goal in it. Olivier Giroud missing through a combination of injury and illness today. Lloris just forced to hurry by Walcott. Wilshere. Santi Cazorla cuts in. Walcott seen off by Walker. He's done the same to Monreal. Adebayor couldn't beat Koscielny. Arteta. Wilshere. Pushed and pulled by Bentaleb. Lovely change of direction to get away from Walker.
Just looking at Walcott in the box. Couldn't make a run, he was limping away. That's again good from Wilshere, showing that change of pace to go past Walker.
Santi Cazorla. Couldn't tee up Arteta for the shot. No guarantees with Mikel Arteta that he'd want to take it on. Gnabry. Effective mazy run, but Rositzky's forced to go backwards. Santi Cazorla. Here's Wilshere. Found some space from somewhere. Monreal. He's trying to find Wilshere again.
Good pressing from Arsenal as well. Lost the ball, but then win it back quickly. That's when they're weakest sometimes, when the opposition start to counter-attack them. Both fullbacks are high up the field.
Wilshere. Santi Cazorla. Wilshere. He just caught back on his heels. Don't think he'd have got there anyway.
He was worried about running offside, so he just stopped his run as Cazorla put his head down to play the pass. Good little spell from Arsenal. Monreal getting forward down the left-hand side, Cazorla going infield.
Even though we haven't had a flurry of goals so far, I'd challenge anybody to find a more absorbing effect time than this one all weekend. Danny Rose down, perhaps a little theatrically though. He might have been pushed by Gnabry, but Mark Clattenburg wasn't impressed with the way he fell to ground. Offside, Walcott.
There's that threat again. I think Dawson's got to be round on the cover, ready for that ball over the top. Walcott knows that was close. And no pressure on the ball, just played in behind Kirikesh.
There's just a little word with Danny Rose. Santi Cazorla. Rose has to get back quickly here. Gnabry on the ball. Through to Walcott. Walcott trying to squeeze it in. He did really well to nip in between Dawson and Lloris, but then the angle was against him.
What a bit of play from Gnabry. Lines up, Rose comes inside of him and then reverses the ball back out with the outside of his right foot. Perfectly weighted, great angle on it. Walcott's first touch is good, but from that moment on he's always going to struggle to get it on target. Gnabry's looked a really good play. Here's the chance for Adebayor up the other end. Slipped at just the wrong time. His first touch was excellent, away from Mertesacker. Good contact. Every possibility, Tottenham will be back in the game.
Didn't do a lot wrong, did he? It was just that standing foot wouldn't plant. He's on the ball here again. Eriksen's in the middle. Soldado has joined him now, and Mertesacker stands in the way of it all.
Well, that time Koscielny makes the mistake. He sees Soldado higher up the field or in midfield, starts racing out towards him. And that left space for Adebayor to make his run. Mertesacker didn't get round on the cover.
Mertesacker wants people to keep their eyes on Kirikesh and Dawson. It's he who heads it away from Adebayor. That was his primary concern. Soldado. He just lurks on the edge of things at corners and free kicks. And look at this. Rose has been dispossessed by Rositzky. Walker's getting back at him. Can't stop him. It'll be hard for Spurs to stop Arsenal now as well. Horrendous error from Danny Rose. Superb opportunism from Thomas Rositzky, who has run on to score. That might be the death knell for Spurs in the FA Cup.
Well, Danny Rose thought about playing it back to the goalkeeper, but he wanted to keep the play going forward. So then tried to twist away from Rositzky. We talked about pressing the ball as the second striker at times. If he's a right-footed player, he sweeps the ball across the field, but he wanted to get it back on his left foot. It's the wrong decision. Walker does well to get somewhere near Rositzky, but Rositzky with the ball under his feet just lifts it over the goalkeeper. It's a really good finish. Great composure from Thomas Rositzky.
That's the first goal that he scored all season. That is a study in concentration. Walker might well as not have been there. He ignored him completely, despite all the pressure from behind. And coolly clipped it home. Plenty for Danny Rose to think about as the Arsenal celebrations start to get into full swing. Spurs change. Nasser Chadli has left the bench. Roberto Soldado has been replaced. Ericsson spun Koscielny, but Arteta is the defensive guard who's never too far away. So I think on the face of it that Spurs, despite being 2 down, had gone to 1 up front, but it will be more 3, I suspect, with Ericsson and Chadli supporting Adebayor from wide.
Yeah, that looks to be the case. Well, I think Lennon's going to stay wide on the right-hand side. Chadli may be on the left, and Ericsson's going to play alongside Adebayor.
Emirates sometimes has its atmosphere dissed. And you know what? When Arsenal are flying, it is one of the noisier grounds around. And they're flying forward again. Lloris has to come out of his area. Never reluctant to do that. Ericsson. Adebayor is the focal point in attack. Ben Taleb trying to play it into his feet. Easy for Mertesacker though. Zitsky safely back to Fabianski. Made that first half save early on from Christian Eriksen, but hasn't been pressed into crucial service many times since.
Well, Tottenham haven't been able to get their shots away. They've had a lot of the play, but haven't had too much penetration. Arsenal's speed on the counter at times has been too much for Kirikesh and Dawson.
Tim Shaw's just been trying to get a message on to Emmanuel Adebayor. I don't know if he's inquiring as to whether he's okay to go on the distance or maybe make another change. They're not too flush with striking options on the bench. They do have 2 strikers on there, but Jonathan Obika is of very limited experience, and likewise Harry Kane, only 20 years old.
Just seemed a strange decision from Tim Sherwood. 2-0 down in a cup game to take off one of the strikers. Change the system, but I'm not sure it's going to get Spurs back into the game here.
Chadli finding Adebayor. Bele. Rose. He'll be feeling that second goal more than anybody. Turned back nicely by Ben Taleb to Kirikesh. Now it's Dawson.
Just show that he's a very much a one-footed player, Danny Rose. Once it was on his right foot, he could have switched the play, but didn't want to take the pass on.
It's a super ball for Rose. Hasn't put a good one in. Mistake though from Santi Cazorla. Aaron Lennon quick to capitalise. Chadli not able to turn. Gnabry, he's impressed again.
That was better from Dawson. That was the right time to play offside, because he realised that Walcott had made his forward run.
Baldini with words to say to the chairman, Daniel Levy. I think they thought there that Walcott was offside. Either that or they're just not impressed with the way Lloris just tapped it out.
Terrible decision from Danny Rose, haunted for quite some while.
Walcott was flagged offside. There go Spurs with Ericsson. And Taleb. Goes without saying, Spurs have got to score the next goal. Chadli can't work it through to Adebayor. Dembele. Tried to do it by himself. Sanya made that look easy. Here's Rosicki. Ericsson all over him. Walcott.
Just now feel as though Spurs are going to be vulnerable on the counter. Arsenal going to sit deep at times and soak up the pressure. Ask Tottenham to break them down, and then as soon as they win the ball, the likes of Gnabry and Walcott making forward runs. Zitsky joining them.
Wilshere. Ignored the tug back at him by Ben Taleb. He's found Monreal. Walcott wants it. Monreal down, shoulder to shoulder with Walker. Just a goal kick.
But he's looking for it, Monreal. Walker again had to recover his position. Lovely little ball over the top from Jack Wilshere. No, for me, not a penalty. Shoulder to shoulder. He's looking for it, Monreal.
take it, Stuart, that at times you do question Kyle Walker's positioning skills.
Absolutely. He's a great athlete. He's good in attacking areas. He's got plenty of enthusiasm. But like Micah Richards, one or two other players that have got great pace. Just hold off for a moment.
It's Dembele who set his sights, and it's well held by Fabianski.
Let's go back to it. They rely on their pace to get them out of trouble, and they don't always think about the game, or aren't aware of what's around them. Dembele with a good shot. Fabianski hasn't had too much to do. Decent save from him, keeping hold of it.
Too much to do all season, of course. Usually keeps the bench warm while Wojciech Szczesny performs. On bench duties for Arsenal today, the player they signed on loan from Palermo, with an option to sign him permanently, Emiliano Viviano, 28 years old, with 6 full caps for Italy behind him. And his third choice at the Emirates. That'll be all. Wouldn't have got to it, couldn't go anyway.
And there you see the shape of Tottenham. For the substitution, Eriksson playing just behind Adebayor. Chadley trying to make diagonal runs from the left-hand side. And Lennon out on the right-hand side.
Wasn't Eriksson making those runs before?
It seemed a strange decision, really. Once again, Chadley's going to take time to get into the game. Soldado is your top scorer.
Eriksson to Walker. Lennon. Lovely touch from Eriksson. Lennon very nearly got it through the gap back to him. A cynical attempt to pull back by Lennon on Arteta. Let's not forget that whatever change Tim Sherwood's made, it might yet work in Spurs' favour. There's still plenty of attacking prowess out there, and there is for Arsenal too, with Walcott. He's working so hard to try and get onto the end of everything.
And he's been encouraged also by Spurs. 2 centre-halves standing there at times. Kirikesh again, standing very square with Dawson.
That's Walker, and he's got the beating of Monreal. Now, is that the same as at the other end? I think it is. Yeah, Mark Clattenburg's seen it the same.
Well, Walker knocks it one side of Monreal. He's got the pace to beat him. The question is, does Monreal run in front of Walker? Here it goes.
He knows where he is.
He knows exactly where he is. He runs across the front of him. There's a little look as well. There's the little look.
And that's more of a case than the one at the other end.
Absolutely.
He's making the case to Kyle Walker, who's not in any mood to listen to it, but in running in front of the Spurs man, he was running away from the ball.
Yeah. Jack Wilshere's making way here.
Arsenal substitution, Jack Wilshere.
Getting a great reception too from some very happy Gooners. 20 minutes away from a 4th round place. Mathieu Flamini, just to add some more midfield defensive muscle to the proceedings. And he's the only member of the current Arsenal side to have won a trophy with them, the FA Cup in 2005, although he didn't play any part in the final and wasn't on the bench. Still got his medal.
Like Adebayor, he had one really good season the first time at Arsenal.
Had a really good start to this season. Here's Lennon. Shelney's with him. Spurs showing plenty of attacking threat though in the last few moments. Walker. Santi Cazorla trying to stay with him. Eriksson. Too close to Fabianski.
Well defended Koscielny, not the last one, but when Lennon beats Monreal, Koscielny came across, read the danger. Didn't need to make a challenge.
Massively imaginative, but the sentiment's out there. And I'm sure they'd say the same the other way around, with added feeling at the moment. Looks like being just that one Spurs win away to Arsenal in 24 visits now since 1993.
In that game they were 2-0 down.
They were. At half-time. Don't have quite as much time to rectify things now. Chadley. Dembele. Arsenal showing signs of putting the padlock on the door now. Walker. Dembele. Adebayor. He loses that to Gnabry.
That's the ball I think they have to play every so often, that diagonal ball for the head of Adebayor.
So Arteta signalling to the bench, and I think he's indicating that he's going to struggle to carry on. Adebayor. Mertesacker able to safely play it back to Fabianski. He was frantically signalling a moment ago, Arteta. Out of play, Spurs throw. Matthew Flamini has drawn the ref's attention to his teammate, who's now seated.
Worry again for Arsene Wenger and Arsenal. Flamini just come on. Arteta definitely wants to come off now.
He's passing the armband on to Per Mertesacker. It's not a bad change to have available. Mesut Ozil is going to make his return after a brief layoff with a shoulder problem. When you look at that change, you realise that for all the snipes and gripes at the start of the season, Arsenal do now have plenty of strength in depth, because if Arteta's injured, they're also missing the likes of Ramsey at the moment, Gibbs, Giroud, Bentner, Sonogo, who joined, the young French striker, back problem, we haven't seen him since August, and Oxlade-Chamberlain and Diaby, of course.
Well, if there's one area where Arsenal aren't short on players, it's in that midfield area. On quality as well, most of those players.
Mesut Ozil's FA Cup debut, having won domestic cups in both Germany and Spain.
Means that Rosicki's going to play alongside Flamini in that midfield area. Ozil will play further forward in behind Theo Walcott.
It was won by Theo Walcott there. Gnabry, though, able to find Ozil with the layoff. Bentaleb, neat and tidy, no frills midfielder. That's ambitious. And Lloris will rather disdainfully watch it go wide. But I think Cazorla perhaps can't be blamed for trying.
I'd imagine one or two players, having watched Lloris's starting position over the next few weeks, will try that, trying to embarrass him, try and make him back off into his box so they can play balls in behind the centre halves and get to them first.
Spurs stage a comeback in the next 15 minutes.
So Arsene Wenger's put Theo Walcott out onto the right-hand side, and Gnabry's going to play at centre forward with Ozil playing behind him. Arsene Wenger's still trying to get his message across.
Kirikesh as careless there as Rose was earlier. This is Walcott. Kirikesh is back. I think Ozil would have been offside. Kirikesh has given it away again to Gnabry. Walcott wide. He had the option of the little back heel to Flamini, and he felt he had the chance to score.
Oh, we're talking about how well Kirikesh has adapted to the Premier League and English football. There he made a couple of mistakes, and Walcott just trying to bend it into that far corner.
Doesn't look at the moment as though that sort of miss will be costly, but there's still time left in this tie.
Despite Spurs making changes, hasn't had the desired effect really.
Maybe, Eriksson can't get through it, just ran away from it. Dembele. Rose. Listen to that, one Arsene Wenger right around the Emirates. Those of us who were the first game of the season at home to Aston Villa wouldn't have thought that we'd be hearing that in the first week of January.
Maybe Arsenal supporters now believe that this could be their season to win trophies again.
Nothing since 2005 in the FA Cup that they won on penalties in the final against Manchester United. To cross, Dawson trying to get in there. I think it was entirely off Dawson. It's just going to be a goal kick.
Two areas where Arsenal think they can break the way Arsenal defend at set plays. Zone and mark, they think they can get in front of and round the back of them. So And that was Soldado getting a couple of volleys in.
A very polite response to the Arsenal baiting. Rose. Cash to Bentaleb. Walcott only back to his feet, only just back to his feet. He's limped off the field, touching his side. Spurs under no obligation to put the ball out. There's the instruction from Mark Clattenburg: play on, get on with it. Adebayor, Lennon. Walker, that's a really good ball in, and it's really well defended by Koscielny. Walker again, he's got his arm around Santi Cazorla. No free kick.
Well, they were appealing for handball against Cazorla, but there's nothing he could do about that. He was played into his arm from about a yard away.
Dembele. He didn't seem ready for it. Lennon. Spurs have to make something of this spell of possession that they're enjoying in Arsenal territory. Eriksson. In comes Monreal, a well-timed intervention. Gnabry to Ozil. Walcott's back on the field, and he's onside. Well, he looked onside to me.
There were the Arsenal fans wanting the ball to be kicked out of play, and there was Walcott that could have raced through and scored if he'd have stayed onside. Here's the handball again. Well, it's kicked into Cazorla. There's nothing you can do about that. I think Mark Clattenburg has had an excellent game, a brilliant game in fact. He's handled it perfectly.
He's let it go, but in the right way, not in cavalier fashion, just as befits the time.
Many referees would have even thought about sending Dembele off in the first half, along with Wilshere, and they had their little spat. Just said, get on with it.
Another problem for Walcott. He's been in the wars in the last few minutes. And Arsenal have already made all three changes available to them.
He makes the tackle here. He just treads on the ball.
He jarred his knee in doing so. Colin Lewis relaying a message to the Arsenal bench here. There's a shake of the head from Walcott. A couple of jars, left knee and right.
Now it could be a slight twist on the first knee, the first leg that landed.
Yeah, the one on the ball.
Yeah.
And I think Arsenal are going to have to see out the end of this with 10 players. Arsene Wenger's used all his substitute cards. Concern. And Theo Walcott is going to be carted off.
Here is the first goal from Cazorla. A lovely strike. Set up by Gnabry. And Danny Rose won't want to see that one too many times. Trying to twist away from Rosicky. He was the last man. Took a chance. And what a good finish it was from Thomas Rosicky. And really, once that goal went in, seemed to take the spirit out of Tottenham.
And I know it wasn't your game, but mind you played in a similar position as Rosicky, Stuart. Did you ever have that feeling when the wind's rushing through and you're running through one-on-one and the hooves are thundering behind you? What on earth goes through the mind? He had a lot to think about there.
He certainly did. And actually the ball, at one point I thought he got the ball stuck under his feet, but it helped him to lift the ball up in the end. What I think he was also doing, he knew he had to get his body in the way of Kyle Walker. He might have even been enticing the challenge from Kyle Walker, because he couldn't get the ball. If he'd have made the challenge, Walker, he was off, it was a penalty, and it was game over.
Yeah, but what did you think?
What did I think? Smash it as hard as I could. And not a good sign from Theo Walcott, not
dear.
clever.
No, that's to the Spurs fans. Well, it's the Arsenal fan. Look at the... Oh, dear. Yeah, that's not good. Can't blame him, he's been copping stick, I suppose, but you've got to be a little bit more restrained than that.
Yes. Well, I say pathetic behaviour.
Cleared by Santi Cazorla. This is from Arsenal, who've recently had Jack Wilshere in trouble for gesturing towards supporters at Manchester City. He was down in front of the Spurs fans, he was taking fearful abuse, but And you can't react, I'm afraid. It is a one-way street. It seems unfair, but it is.
And what it shows is the crowd are getting to you. The one thing you don't let the crowd see is that they are getting to you. You can smile all he wants.
Personally, I don't blame him, but it's just not the done thing. I understand Spurs supporters getting riled. As Arsenal fans once upon a time when Adebayor scored against them for Manchester City. He can't get one here. He hasn't really had too many chances today.
Well, he's been well marked when balls have come into the box. He hasn't really influenced the game, Chadley.
And the stars are raining down on Theo Walcott now. He'll have boosted his popularity with the home supporters, that's for sure.
I think we can say safely that it can't be that bad an injury.
It's the last position that Arsenal could have done with one. Might just intensify the need to get out into the now open January window.
The player they've been linked with is Berbatov, former Tottenham player. Interesting if
Just a
Tottenham
little
played
bit different
Arsenal.
to Walcott.
Adebayor playing for Spurs and Berbatov playing for Arsenal.
Somehow I can't see that move materialising. Real Madrid's Alvaro Morata, a young man, linked with a loan move as well. Walker won't get onto that. And Real gets as far away as he possibly can. 5.5 minutes with 10 players. Arsenal have got to hang on, and Tim Sherwood needs his team to score very quickly. Then we'll see a cavalry charge.
Chris Ramsey, one of the support team for Tim Sherwood, making sure that Rose plays high and wide out on that left-hand side.
Rose the player with most amends to make, and he's got the chance to cross here. Flamini will rather awkwardly put it behind. The problem for Arsenal is now when they get it away, there's not really an outlet for them.
Score here, Spurs. They'll have a handstand finish.
Chadley, Ericsson. Couldn't beat Flamini. Rose. Ericsson again. Sherman's been outstanding
All season. One of the most improved players in the Premier League.
There goes Sanya. Mesut Ozil can't find him with the return ball though. Ericsson, Rose. Rose pushed. It's going to be a free kick for Spurs.
There's poor play all round from Mesut Ozil. Gave the ball away cheaply, then racing back. It's a poor challenge on Danny Rose. Should have got the ball in the last set play.
Confirmation that it is Theo Walcott's left knee that took a jarring when he inadvertently trod on the ball. And Spurs cause a problem in the few minutes that remain and make this tie not the cut and dried affair the scoreline would suggest. Ericsson. It's hit firmly but straight against Mertesacker, who's just about the biggest object you could find. It was Nasser Chadley with the shot.
Oh, what a waste again. The pass to Chadley didn't have enough pace on it, so he had to wait for it.
Adebayor working to win it. Mertesacker clear to Kirikesh. I'd be surprised if Arsenal don't cross halfway again for the rest of this game. They're going to hold firm at the back. Dembele. Chased by Santi Cazorla. Rose. Confronted by Sanya. He's managed to hook a boot to it to prevent what he thought would have been a corner. In actual fact, the ball did cross the line and it'll be a goal kick.
Good defending. Anthony Sanya. Started things off, didn't he, with that left foot strike. Cazorla, another outstanding game on the ball.
World Cup year is huge for him. He was one of the unlucky ones who missed Spain's success in South Africa, ruled out after a hernia operation. You'd expect him to be part of the 23 for Brazil, for the defending world champions, although with the strength that they have to pick from, you can never be totally sure.
I think he'll certainly be part of the squad. How much time he gets, another matter.
2 minutes to go, the 90, and then it's in the lap of the gods as to whatever's added. There have been a few stoppages. The word we're getting is that there'll be as many as 5 minutes. Hope for Spurs yet. Dawson to Walker. Walker went round the back, but Lennon couldn't find a way through to him. Rose, who is now an out-and-out left winger for the rest of this. Up goes Adebayor. Can't tee up Walker. Really good work once again from Laurent Koscielny. They can't afford another injury and finish with 9.
The problem is for Tottenham, when they are getting it into wide areas, there's not enough players in the box. Adebayor had to try and bring that down on his chest with 3 or 4 Arsenal players around him. When you're 2-0 down and there's only a few minutes left, you've got to get players making forward runs into the box. You've got to get it wide, get crosses in. You can't be too patient. You've got to make the opposition defend, and Tottenham haven't really done that since Arsenal have been down to 10 players.
Flamini, blocked by Lennon, but blocked with his hands, or the underside of the elbow is indicated by the referee at least. Cazorla's free kick. Gnabry wins a throw. Some words of advice from Arsene Wenger. Look at the scenes behind Tim Sherwood, celebrating Gooners everywhere. Tim Sherwood about to crash to his, just his second defeat as Spurs manager, or head coach. Gnabry, Ozil to seal it! And Lloris stretched out a hand. Did he get anything on it? Goal kick's being pointed for by Mark Clattenburg. Ozil's claimed a corner. And the assistant referee has given him one.
There's the little nutmeg that made it. Gnabry once again with the weight of pass. That's going in the far corner. It's a brilliant save. It's a good shot from Ozil as well. What a good save from Lloris.
Well, Clattenburg didn't see it. It needed the assistant with the flag to give it.
He hasn't got much wrong, has he, Mark Clattenburg, today?
As long as between them they get it right. Very much an officiating team these days. That's how they refer to themselves. Mesut Ozil. That's Rosicki. This is Santi Cazorla. Not to find Ozil, who'd already gone. Is this game already gone from Spurs? You would think so. They've got 4 minutes. Otherwise, they're going to go out in the third round of the FA Cup for the first time since 2006. Ozil. Rose sees him off. Bentaleb. Behind for a Spurs goal kick. They've got to go long. They've got to go quickly with it. Arsenal minutes away from making it 15 third-round wins in a row. They haven't gone out at this stage since 1996 when they lost at Sheffield United in a replay, and that was pre-Wenger. Bruce Rioch was the manager then. Bentaleb. Danny Rose looks to have overcooked it. Walker will try and keep it going. Eriksson. Clear by Mertesacker. Walker. Won by Santi Cazorla. And look at the effort that both teams have put in, the pace of the game. Just have a look at Eriksson if he can get a crossover. He can't because of Santi Cazorla just typifying that. And you wonder about some of the comments you've seen from other Premier League bosses about the FA Cup being a bit of a nuisance. Utter nonsense. Here are two of the top teams in the English Premier League. And they've gone at it hammer and tongs right from the start, right to the end. Danny Rose lost his footing, and he's unlucky that bounces behind off Bentaleb, and it's going to be an Arsenal goal kick.
There have been some encouraging signs for Tottenham in recent weeks. Even in the first half, I thought they played some good football, but overall there hasn't been enough penetration with their passes. There hasn't been a big enough threat. And Arsene Wenger's men, certainly when they've played the ball forward, when They used the pace of Gnabry and Walcott to run down the side of Spurs centre-halves. When their midfield players came in and joined in, they've looked far more threatening and they've deserved their victory.
Well, Arsenal are top of the league. They've enjoyed some big wins this season. One against Tottenham, one against Liverpool. They've got a lot of big fixtures still to come. And their supporters have not enjoyed any victory this season as much as they're enjoying this one. Because they came into it knowing that the Spurs challenge looked as though it was going to be a strong one. So Arsenal have been really strong. Bentaleb, ooh, I think he just missed Monreal's fingers, but I don't like seeing that sort of aggression. There was no need for it.
Absolutely no need for it. Monreal had a little look at him. No surprise that Flamini was there or thereabouts having a go. So it's more about frustration rather than having to go at Monreal. Certainly doesn't catch Monreal.
Just a show, wasn't it? Empty seats in the Spurs section.
Tim Sherwood finding out what management's like now. Feeling that he was desperate to win against your local rivals. Fans right behind him. They will be. Disappointing performance in the end.
Eriksson can't get it under control. Spurs, of course, will go on two fronts and still try and get top four if they possibly can in the Premier League and the Europa League, which they've been outstanding in this season. Maybe that takes on extra importance now.
Tottenham is still a club that need to win things. Usually through the cup competitions where they have been successful in recent times. More recent times, should I say.
And for Arsenal, who haven't won a trophy in 8 seasons, well, they are still potentially treble chasing. Champions League, Premier League, FA Cup, because it's Arsenal who go through to the 4th round. Arsene Wenger never beaten at the first hurdle in all his time as Gunners boss. Stuart, your thoughts, very quick ones on what has been a superb North London derby.
It was a superb game. I thought it was equal in that first half until that man started the scoring, and then it was all wrapped up for Arsenal when Rosicky nicked the ball off Danny Rose.
They're the 2 goal scorers. Santi Cazorla first half, Thomas Rosicky in the second. It's the Gunners who have been the strongest this evening in North London. Arsenal 2, Tottenham Hotspur 0.